My name is Peter Detre. I'm a Synogis partner and I specialize in helping companies to grow faster. I identify where the hurdles are, I remove them, and they grow faster, either in terms of profit or in terms of revenue. And I have done that for every single client that I have worked for the last 16 or 17 years. The sort of issues that I focus on are things typically to do with competitive differentiation and defining the target market of a company. Quite often companies lose sight of where their real potential is, and so I help to redefine the target market and quite often help companies to look for new markets where they haven't operated before, sometimes overseas. The most important question that I help companies to resolve is competitive differentiation. And when we've redefined their competitive differentiation, to communicate it effectively. I have worked with a large range of companies, both in terms of sectors and in terms of size, some with nil revenue, some with a revenue over £100 million, some with no staff, some with staff of 8,000 people. And I have typically focused on that which the client needs, but they tend to fall in the area of new business development. I typically help to resolve those issues which they themselves have defined. But just recently, the current issue of the Harvard Business Review has a very interesting article about shared values by Michael Porter. And that is going to become a more and more critical issue within larger companies by redefining the whole range of stakeholders who have an interest in the success of the company. And so I try to broaden the perspective of the managing director and its board to that broad range of shared values. Alchemy, the private equity company, invested in a recruitment company with a turnover of £125 million and 8,000 employees, whose profits were dropping 5 million, 4 million, 3 million, and Alchemy fired the chief executive and brought me in as an interim CEO to reverse that decline in profits. And I did that within about 9 months and then handed over to a permanent CEO. I'm told by clients that my best professional trait is listening. I listen carefully to what the company or the senior executives of the company need, because that really is where it all begins. I listen to the client to define their need. I ensure that I've understood the questions, and I then focus on dealing with those issues which they have highlighted. More often than not, it's to do with areas of new business development, sales or marketing. I have quite a lot of international experience. I'm at home anywhere in the world, with the possible exception of Latin America. I was born in Hungary, I went to school in Hungary. My first foreign language was Russian and then German. I went to university in Switzerland and then eventually in England. And I have worked extensively in Africa, the Middle East, the Far East, in East Europe, West Europe, and North America. So I can work in most international markets quite effectively. I have expertise in leisure, hospitality, FMCG, retail IT, and a number of different sectors where I have been active. I currently run an online networking company, so I'm developing my know-how and my understanding of online work and the world of e-commerce. I helped to launch a company from scratch in the leisure sector. I didn't do it all on my own, but I ran it. And that started from zero, and it ended up with a quote on the London Stock Exchange. and that gives you one huge buzz. I always prefer interim management if I have a choice, because in interim management you have to actually put your name on the contract or the checkbook, so you actually take decisions and function as an executive director of a company. But what I enjoy most is working out what the problem, providing the solution, and seeing that it works. It's a much more effective use of one's time working within a group of experts and senior executives and working on one's own. It also enhances one's own credibility, and from the point of view of the client, it lowers the risk of having a team of experts to talk to. This applies particularly to banks who use consultants all the time.